Looking back in here, we have a lot of repetitive parts about our product, or at least the product thumbnail itself, or part of the thumbnail. And that repetitiveness is how it looks, right? So if we look at each product, this is the same thumbnail as this, and we could actually change our templates to be a little bit smarter. So inside of products, I'm going to add a new template here, and I'm going to call it product thumbnail template. So just product thumbnail.html. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy one of the thumbnails, just the thumbnail right here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. And what this allows me to do is now I can use that template in here instead of what's coming through there. So I can say include product underscore template.html, and you can say with product equaling to product. So back in here, this variable is going to be used based off of this variable. Close off that. And now we go back into the product list and refresh in here. And we're not finding product template. Of course, that's because it's in products product template, or product thumbnail, excuse me. So we have to write it out completely. So product thumbnail. And we refresh. Spelling errors, and here we go. Now it's showing that same template, which is really cool because then we can adjust how that product's coming through however we'd like, or at least the template, no matter what. So if we refresh in here, if I go into the water bottle, I might want to do the same thing for related products. So let's go ahead and copy this and going into product detail. Again, replacing the thumbnail, so just where the thumbnail stuff is. So that's here to here. We want to keep those div tags in otherwise. Tab this in. Refresh, same exact thing. Still working, which is very nice. And then finally, category detail, same sort of thing. We want to put it inside for this thumbnail. And there we go. All right. So we can also get a little bit more dynamic with it, such as showing price. So in the product list, got a list of all this stuff, and we can actually implement a price here if we wanted, with price equaling to, and we'll put it as a string of true. And then inside of our thumbnail, we could just go in here and say if price equals to true, then we can show something, and I'll just say show price for now. Go back in. Cannot parse remainder. Equals needs a space there. All right, so now it's saying show price, which is good. So to show the price, we have to do product dot variation set dot first dot get price. And that's going to show the current price, including the sale price, if there is a sale price. So if we click on one of them, like the MP3 player, it shows the sale price. So back into our instance method stuff, actually going to add a method called define get HTML price, and take in self. So first off, we'll return the sale price if there is one, or we'll return the actual price. So it's going to be very similar to this, but instead of returning the sale price alone, we're going to make a link or some HTML text equaling to, and the first off will be sale price. So I'll say span class equals to sale price. Close that off and put in a string substitution here, and then put a space and span class equals to OG price. I believe that's what we called it before. We can double check that in a moment. And then %s again, close off that span, and then do some string substitution of self.sale price and self.price. And then we are going to return this HTML text. And then the price text, we're going to do basically the same thing, just slightly different. So I'm going to copy this, paste it in here, and just say price, class of price, and return that. All right, so now we'll do get HTML price, and we'll add that into our product thumbnail instead of get price. Instead, get HTML price. We refresh in here, and it's showing us the different prices. Of course, we can just say safe as the safe filter. And now it's showing OG price was the actual one, and it's showing the difference between the two, which is really cool. But this safe, we also don't necessarily need to have it in the template here, which I don't want to have it in. Instead, I want to use mark safe, which is a Django util function, which I'm going to copy in. And we're going to import this from utils, safe string, put this in order, and lastly import mark safe, and then coming back down here, we're going to mark safe the HTML text. Please note that we have two variables called HTML text, so the return function is going to return HTML text no matter what. All right, so now back into our project, we refresh. Let's go ahead and run the server. Refresh in here, and now it's showing that price. So the actual instance method itself is going to come through a little bit nicer than trying to say safe everywhere it shows up. Which this is really good because then we can go on here and see related products. It's not showing the price. So we can actually decide when we want to show the price based off of the template. So in the product detail, we would just do price equals to true, and then we refresh into our product, and now it's going to show that particular price depending on what it is. Now, of course, our sale price, we don't have a check to make sure that it's actually less than the original price, but I'm going to leave it to intuition to make sure that that happens at this point. All right, so if you have any questions on what we did here, how we did it, let us know. The template include stuff is really, really powerful. And this is not all you have to use it in. You don't actually even have to pass variables. You could just do include tag, right? But of course, in this case, it's not going to show anything if we just did the include, depending on where we are. In this case, it's product list. Product list, it's still coming through because of the product variable here. But if this was object and we refresh, it's not coming through. It's actually failing. So there's that. And you can use it for forms as well, which is something we'll do eventually. But in a form or in any sort of context, if you wanted to use like a template library or template tag library, you'd have to load it inside of here. So if we said load static files or load Django Crispy files, we would absolutely have to do it inside of this template as well. So if you ever make templates, that's what you want to do if you're going to use those template tags that are available. All right, so this is it for the templates themselves. If you have any questions on this, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.